So, um, we're back. As you can see, I did get Dehya. This was a couple days after her release. I just really liked her character. Her design's very nice. I know that the reception has been pretty bad. But you see, I don't care, right? It's more about like having fun and more about like playing with the character who I really enjoy during the Art Conquest. I think her personality is just really like cool, I guess. I'm not sure what the exact word is, but I really vibe with her, and so I pulled for her. I will be doing like
to the desert life, but still, I hope that one day they'll be able to find an oasis of their own and leave the sandstorms behind for a better life.
That's great. As I was saying, I will be doing like a Dehya like showcase at some point, but for right now, I wanted to actually do her story quest. So I already started it accidentally by walking around in Sumeru, but yeah, let's continue with it. So I didn't really talk much in this part of the quest, but basically what happens is that, we go walking around and we meet Dunyarzad and Dehya after the Archon quest, and it's been a while, and we say hi and stuff like that. It really isn't that like important, so I just wanted to quickly just summarize what happened because it is quite a long dialogue. Of course, Paimon, of course.
But wait, didn't you say last time that you would take me on a trip to the desert? Why don't you just take me with you today, when you leave?
I don't think she's gonna go for that. I feel like, because like obviously we know that Dehya's a very like big on being like free and like being able to go wherever she wants or do whatever she wants at any time. So I don't think like, even though she really views Dunyarzad as her best friend, I don't think that means that, she's just gonna take her wherever.
There are so many places I still haven't visited yet.
I'm sorry, my lady, but no can do.
Yeah.
There's still a few things I need to take care of back at the brigade. Besides, the desert hasn't exactly been the most peaceful place lately.
Okay.
Oh, come on. Not this again. That's also what you said last time and the time before that.
I feel like she's kind of protecting Dunyarzad here.
I know, I'm sorry. Just give me some more time, and I promise I'll plan the best trip ever for you.
Oh, that's so cute.
Alright, fine. To be perfectly honest, it's not that I wanted to go, it's more like I feel like something is off about you lately.
Oh, okay.
Ever since you first set foot on the estate a few days ago, you've been acting anxious and even paranoid. Have you been delaying our trip because you've run into some kind of trouble?
Oh?
Nah, are you kidding? You're worrying too much.
That was sus as hell. The way that she said that was sus as hell.
Would you swear on that? Friends shouldn't lie to each other, you know. I wouldn't pry any further if you're willing to swear on what you just said.
That is honestly a pretty respectful way to say this.
But if something really is bothering you, then just tell me. You know I'll help you however I can.
I mean, yeah, you're gonna help, but we all know that the Traveler is gonna be the one helping out, and she's gonna suddenly blab out all the problems that she's having, and then we're gonna have to help her. I'm thinking if the Traveler can just help me with this problem, so I don't have to talk to Miss Dunyarzad, my best friend, about it, right?
Oh, looks like Dunyarzad was onto something.
Uh-huh.
You're too perceptive, my lady. Seems I can't hide anything from you.
Oh, okay. We're actually all hearing it now.
I just thought that nothing good could come out of telling you about the messy happenings of mercenaries. Knowing too much only leads to more trouble. Mercenary life is a dog-eat-dog world where Mora reigns supreme. Everything operates on a completely different set of rules.
That doesn't change anything about what I just said, though. We're still friends, and I can only support you if I understand what's bothering you.
That's true, that's true.
My lady, you're not gonna stop until you drag it out of me, are ya?
Nope.
All right, I'll share what I know. Let's go somewhere else first. This isn't exactly the best place for a discussion.
Okay.
Okay, let's talk.
Oh,
here.
okay, we don't need
Just
to walk.
try not to draw
That's a
any extra
relief.
attention. As you may already know, the Eremites have both a lot of mercenaries and a complex organizational structure. Many mercs are no different than me, just going around looking for jobs to earn some mora.
Okay.
My brigade is called the Blazing Beasts.
Oh,
We're not a
wow.
large group, but every member is loyal and brave. However, not all Eremite brigades are like mine. Some are willing to cross all kinds of lines for the sake of mora. The most notorious is a faction known as Deshret's Relics.
Both of those names sound really cliche, if that makes sense.
Deshret's relics? Judging from the name, they must really look up to...
Oh my god, that's so surprising. King Deshret.
Yep, you got it. I've heard that you've already crossed paths with Ain al-Akmar. They're one of the groups under the Relic's banner.
Oh, you mean the group that tried to sell us the Divine Knowledge Capsule? Yeah, they weren't friendly at all.
Deshret's Relics is composed of many smaller brigades like Ain al-Akmar. The Relic's headquarters issues orders to all brigades under his control. On any other day, I would want nothing to do with them. Unfortunately, though, the brigade that's stirring up trouble now is none other than Dehya al-Akmar.
Dakan?
I think it means beard or something. Believe me,
Or
it's a
something.
really
She doesn't
stupid
move
name.
it. Yeah,
It's
exactly.
insufferable for years. Anyway, the real issue is that Dehya al-Akmar is led by my father, Kusela.
Never heard of her family.
Say what now?
Wow.
I think I'm starting to understand your anxiety now. But what did they do?
I really like Junior Zhao's voice. I feel like because we've seen some like NPC voice actors make it to characters like Chisato making it to Ayaka, I believe. And so maybe Junior Zhao will voice a future Genshin character because I really like her voice. It sounds very emotional and genuine. So
I won't go into details, my lady, but they've been involved in a lot of violent incidents. We're talking hundreds.
God, wow, okay.
Hundreds?
Yep. The scenes tend to be quite gruesome, too. They strip the victims of all their valuables before murdering them.
God dang.
Not only have they targeted merchant caravans and ordinary citizens, but other mercenary brigades as well.
Okay.
That's beyond terrible. They won't even spare their own kind.
I don't know how Deshret's Relic sees it. All I do know is that Dehya al-Akmar has become more and more aggressive over the last few years.
Okay.
If I don't do something about them, then even my brigade or the people of Aru village could become their next target. I just wish I knew what's driven him to do this.
Yeah. How can your father do such terrible things?
I think if I had to make like a wild guess, it's either that, you know, someone else was actually the one that's like doing all the evil and they're just using like her father as like a sort of pawn in this whole plan, or her father's just greedy. I don't know.
I don't know. People change.
Exactly, and we
He's
don't
always
know.
been pretty pathetic. But at least in the past, there were still a few lines that he wouldn't cross.
Okay.
That's setting the bar pretty low.
Yeah.
I mean, if he was even remotely decent, then why would I have to leave the brigade and cut all ties with him?
Ah, right,
He
right.
was loud and foolish, with no real sense of purpose. Instead of doing anything useful, he spent most of his time drinking and chasing after women.
Right.
Of course, the other brigade members were just like him. Their ruckus would go on night after night.
Oh boy.
Sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay, Paimon. Okay.
What about your mother? Did she ever step in to stop them?
Unfortunately, I never knew.
Oh no.
I'm sorry, Dehya. I didn't know.
Oh.
It's all right, my lady. That's pretty common in mercenary circles. Didn't I mention that my father was chasing after women? I was the result of one of those encounters with some random person. He told me that he wasn't sure who my mother was. And in any case, she never came to see me.
I mean, yeah, if, like, I know that, like, you know, not seeing your own child is a bit not good, but if Dia's father was the one to have a lot of, like, affairs with people, I know that, like, it might be hard for the woman to come see her daughter.
He'd say, "You'll be fine as long as you remember to stick with Dad." But even then,
Oh, that's
he
so
left most of the
shitty.
parenting to the brigade. The one thing I do remember is that he used to tell me stories, but the problem was that he had terrible taste. He only knew a few stories, and even those tended to be pretty stale. They were tales of desert warriors defeating dragons in the forest, or stories of mercenaries rescuing princesses from rebel armies.
Right.
Sounds like your typical fairy tales.
Mm-hmm.
More or less, yeah. They were interesting maybe the first or second time around, but after about 20 repeats, they started to get a little dull.
20?
He seemed to think those stories were the best things ever, though. He was so into them that he'd call the whole brigade over and make them perform the whole thing as a play. Even the toys he gave me would all be story props. I'd get helmets, shields, and toy swords. It was only much later when I realized that the shows were more for him than they ever were for me.
Right. I mean, it definitely sounded like it.
What an interesting guy.
Interesting. But it doesn't sound like he had all bad intentions.
Yeah, I've always found him pretty childish. That was something I could just shrug off. I had no reason to despise him. Until I grew up and learned the true face of Deshret's relics for myself. Looting, blackmail, violence, and fraud. They not only accepted such heinous acts, they would even openly boast about them.
Oh my god.
No one in the brigade was any kind of hero.
I
Instead,
like to zoom in,
my
though.
father and his cronies were more like the bad
Oh,
guys
wow,
that
okay.
needed to be taken down. Did they really think that as long as they didn't do any of that stuff right in front of me, I would never know?
I think I can
Sometimes
understand your
people are really
feelings.
stupid.
The difference between perception and reality must have hit hard.
Yeah, but don't worry, my lady. It's all water under the bridge to me now. I had a huge argument with my father and left that place behind for good. I'm not
for you.
investigating them due to any bitter feelings I still have towards my father. I just want to protect those that are close to me.
You just want to find out why they suddenly started causing so much more trouble.
Yeah. I told the boys to gather as much information as they could. Most of the reports concern violent incidents, but there's also some talk of smuggling.
I see. But isn't this investigation incredibly dangerous?
Yeah.
It is, but every mercenary lives life on the edge. It's a lifestyle that I enjoy.
That may be true, but it'll be impossible for those who care about you not to worry.
You mean like yourself? I mean, I would worry too if I were like the traveler.
Well, now you get why I didn't want to share any of this
Oh, her shy expression is so cute.
What should we do? They both have valid concerns.
Yep, as I predicted, we're stepping in.
with you. But there's no need for you to get caught up in this mess too.
Well, he's
It's not.
super
It's
tough,
that we
so
want
even
to,
if it's
okay?
together
Because
with
we're
you,
bored.
then
There's no
Bruno
end-game
thinks the
content.
problem will be solved in no time.
I'm inclined to agree. I'd feel a lot more at ease if you took him along to help.
You can count on me. Like 1, 2, 3. Yes.
I'll wait for news from you in the city until then. Please, stay safe.
I'm honored that you care so much for me, my lady.
Oh, this is so sweet.
All right, then let's get moving. Our first
Okay.
stop will be Caravan Rebot, where we can catch up a bit with my fellow mercs.
Let's go. Oh, we just started. Oh, okay. I was like actually thinking we were like already like 20% done with that conversation, like because the conversation was so long, but in summary is just like, hey, we went shopping, we met Dehya, there's this situation with her father and his group of mercs, and now we have to go solve them. Alright, let's go to Caravan Rebot to learn more about the situation. Oh, here we are.
Hey, Dehya, you're back. Are these two friends of yours?
Of course. It's a pleasure to meet you. I trust Dehya with my life.
Oh, so you've already become like one of us then? Well, that's good to know.
I just noticed this Blazing Beasts member. That sounds really cool, to be honest.
Anyway, since we've got a newcomer, let me fill you in on what the Khan al-Akhmar's been up to lately. They've
Okay.
become extremely aggressive.
Aggressive.
Apparently, even their own
Yes.
now have become acceptable targets.
Oh, God.
They even attack other relics brigades, just the same as any other mercenary brigade.
Even the most ferocious beasts still protect their own. It sounds like they've thrown that straight to the wind.
That's right. Once they've collected enough loot off the other mercenaries, they sell it off to a different brigade, or turn to merchants on the black market.
Wow.
A portion of their profits is immediately exchanged for more food and weaponry to be used in their next violent operation.
It's like a vicious cycle of like, you know, you have to do this, and then you use the ill-gotten gains, and then you do more of that like really fucked up shit in other terms.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it really makes you wonder why they're so desperate for Mora.
I mean, people want money. It's not a matter of like, it's not always a matter of like, oh, I'm poor, therefore I need more extra money. It's sometimes just like, even though I'm like, you know, comfortable, or like in terms of like, I can afford my own food and stuff like that, I still want more money to get better things.
A few days ago, Isham and I trailed them for a while, and even disguised ourselves as merchants to conduct trade with them. We were able to learn a few things from the exchange.
Okay, what did you learn?
Rather than saying they're out to plunder and hoard Mora, it'd probably be more accurate to say that they're experiencing an internal power struggle.
Okay.
Wait, a power struggle?
You heard me right. The vast majority of their victims are mercenaries from the other brigades of Deshret's relics. If their only goal was Mora, they could have gone after anybody. The targeted nature of their attacks points to a power struggle between the different brigades within the relics. That's the only plausible explanation we have.
That would make sense. I mean, like, if you're targeting specific people, it's not going to be only about Mora, unless they're, you know, just known for being super rich, but that's another thing.
Unfortunately, we weren't able to find out anything more specific. It seems they're also trying to keep things under wraps. Oh, one last thing we discovered was that over the past few years, as Dakan al-Ahmar became more and more active, Deshret's relics as a whole became a lot weaker.
So what I'm getting from this is that, basically, the bigger group, which is the Deshret's relics, is breaking itself down because of this specific smaller group that's in it. They are able to cause so much damage. That somehow makes things even more confusing.
Sounds mighty strange to me too. Harun, you can leave the rest of the investigation to us. Gotta say though, I didn't expect you to go on a whole undercover mission during the few days I was gone. Sounds like you were really putting your necks on the line, no?
Nah, it was nothing.
I like Harun. He seems cool.
We're just as concerned about the situation as you are. Dakan al-Ahmar is your father's crew after all.
Yeah.
What he said. Besides,
who's that?
Dehya, haven't you done more dangerous things than all of us combined? What we did is nothing compared to your experiences.
Yeah. And while they went to talk with Dakan al-Ahmar, I took a look at the last camp they attacked. Any survivors of the attack were already long gone. There was nothing of value left in the camp.
Okay.
Ah, Hisham and Khalaf. You're here too.
We rushed over as soon as we saw you come into Caravan Ribat. Although this new friend of yours looks a little green behind the ears, I'm sensing a special vibe from him.
I mean, look at me. I have green all over myself. Okay, like look. I'm Dendro. Yes, I have plant powers, so I'm green.
Now that we know you'll have a capable partner with you, we can also rest easy.
Hey, what about Paimon? Feel
Oh,
anything
we
special?
have. Of course, she has to ask that.
Oh, you're also planning to tackle?
Oh. It's just like, hey, you don't look like you're supposed to be here. Get out.
Of course! Paimon is the traveler's most important guide. Wherever he goes, Paimon will follow.
Okay.
Oh, in that case, then you'd better take care of her too, Dehya.
Lol.
Don't underestimate Paimon!
Don't worry about her. She may look tiny and helpless, but she's been through just as many battles as the traveler here.
I mean, technically that's true, but all she's been doing is just like telling us and yelling at us, being like, do this, do that. It's not really like, you know, she, used her amazing powers to block an attack.
Even if she had only survived on sheer luck, then that alone would still make her quite formidable.
That's shade, though.
I had no idea. I guess I shouldn't judge by appearances.
Oh, one other thing, Dehya. When you're free, why don't you update the deputy about your upcoming schedule?
Okay.
We held another recruitment event a few days ago, but everyone only came to see the Flame Maid.
Of
You
course,
weren't around
she's
at the time, so
insanely
people
popular.
were pretty disappointed to only find our crew of rough, unkempt guys. The deputy put a lot of effort into the event, but it was basically for nothing. Only a few people chose to stay, and that really got to him.
Sorry to hear that. I'll be sure to bring him some great liquor next time. I left in a hurry and I couldn't make it back in time for the event.
Gotta admit, I can understand their disappointment, though. You're our brigade's main selling point, after all. Now, if only the deputy could figure out a way to bring a few more smoking hot members into our ranks.
What? I feel like Genshin has been getting more direct lately, but I mean, it's true. She is very kind. She's very attractive. I'm not sure if that's what you would want to do to make your brigade popular, though.
Keep dreaming. Remember the last time I invited a couple gals into the brigade? You all just froze up with your mouths gaping like a bunch of scarecrows.
Yeah.
The awkward silence and weird expressions left quite the impression on them. They were originally interested in joining us, but after that, they both told me they were too uncomfortable to stick around.
Why did you guys do that? Come on.
Hey, didn't we agree to never bring that up again?
Huh? Wait, are you serious? Why have I never heard about this?
And then after that long conversation, we finally got to the point where there was some like intel that was given by the people at Caravan Rebot, basically telling us that we needed to get to the looted goods and look for leads on that, and they gave us a location to go to. That's basically what happened. I had a little bit of an audio issue while recording this part, so I just decided to quickly summarize it. Alright, so let's head over to the place. Not it, that's the daily commission that I never do. So... wait for our moment.
This should be the place. Let's find a spot to hide and bide our time.
Okay, great. Going under the tree trunk?
It's gonna come down to a fight one way or another, so let's all be careful.
I'm ready
Need
for
to
a fight
worry.
with my...
He knows his way around a fight.
Yeah, I'm ready with my level 73 DF.
I'm not worried about that. What I meant is that we probably shouldn't go too hard on the enemy.
Oh,
After all,
wow.
we still need to get information out of them.
Wait, so am I supposed to actually hold back, or... like... oh, okay, we don't need to hit the waiting thing. That's good. Oh, here we are. Are people gonna show up?
Ah, here they
This is
come.
something.
You ready? Let's not give them a
Yes.
chance to react and end this quickly.
Yeah, let's go! Oh, trial Dia. Okay, level mine. Never mind. Level 90 Dia.
That's close enough.
Okay, nice.
Into the wind.
I'm going in.
Here, and then shine. Oh, we don't even get to use the Dia burst. Okay, so Tar.
You're the Flame Bane.
Yes, she is.
Good. That saves me an introduction. All right, time for a little talk. Are you buddies with Dakana Lakmar now? Tell me, what are they after?
Yes, spit it out.
You know the code of being a mercenary just like everyone else. The first rule is to never divulge key information about our employer. What makes you think I'd talk?
Talk or we'll beat you to death.
That might have worked on an amateur, but I know you're just looking to protect your reputation. Think about it, though. What's your reputation worth if you won't have the other tools you need to succeed in this line of work? Tools
Oh
like,
my God.
I don't know, your limbs or eyes?
Oh god. Dia's not holding back, that's for sure.
You've got 5 seconds.
Oh
You
god.
might want to think twice about how much your employer's information is worth to you.
Oh god.
Whoa!
It's alright, Paimon. She knows what she's doing. Yeah, she's probably bluffing. I don't know if she'll actually do it, but like, it's very scary, obviously.
I'm not joking around. We can do this the easy way or the painful way.
Yes. Oh wow, her voice though.
2 seconds.
I'll save you the trouble.
He cut his arm off?
Huh? Are you crazy? He tried to bite off his own tongue. Quick, search the area for any first aid supplies.
He did what? Ew, that's disgusting.
I definitely didn't expect him to go that far. Thankfully, the wound wasn't too deep, and he just passed out from the pain.
Right.
Why would he be so extreme?
I think he's just scared of like being the one to expose the group, right? Like his employers. If he did that, then he'd probably be like at a greater risk than what Dehya said.
I just wanted to test his mettle. You can get a lot of mercenaries to talk just by threatening them. I didn't expect him to be willing to go through so much pain just to deny us some intel.
Well, he's out cold for now. We could wait for him to wake up, but maybe it's not a good idea to interrogate him any further. What should we do?
Yeah, don't worry about it. It'll be a waste of time to interrogate him again after that. He might just hurt himself again if we start asking.
That's true.
There are lots of goods around here. Let's search the area. Maybe we'll be able to find something. I'm really sorry.
Aww. Tara is not gravely injured and will probably wake up soon. It should be okay to leave him here for a little while. Okay. There are some weapons in the boxes as well as medicine and bandages. It seems like Dakan al-Ahmar is really up to no good. They're like the violent acts, right? There are a lot of daily necessities like food and water. It doesn't seem like there's anything noteworthy. Okay. What? Oh, backpack.
We found a piece of paper with a bunch of names on it. Maybe it's a record of something.
Let me take a look. If this really is a merchant caravan, they should have a record of their transactions. Yep. I see an entry for Dakan al-Ahmar right here. Kusela, Idrisi, Bashar, and Takriti. All familiar names. Dakan al-Ahmar has been trading for a hefty supply of food, weapons, and medicine. It seems that in the past, they used to receive some canned knowledge as well. This caravan is just one link in their logistics chain. Once in the rainforest, the caravan will exchange the looted goods for Mora, and the funds will then be passed to a specific person. That person will then pack the caravan full of necessary goods, which will then be brought right back to Dakan al-Ahmar. Wait, why is there no Mora value recorded for the final transaction?
That's
No
weird.
value?
Yeah, every transaction before the last one was marked with an exact amount of Mora, but the final one, where they paid for everything to be brought back to the desert, was simply marked as delivered.
Maybe the more amounts just happen to cancel each other out.
Perhaps. But they couldn't have known how much they would make off selling the loot. Do they not care about profit margins at all?
Possible.
Anyway, the next part's the records of the goods themselves. There are a lot of entries. Everything was probably sourced from the rainforest. Huh?
What's
What?
wrong?
Shahzaman Homayani?
Oh, that's Dunyazad's family, right?
Homayani? You mean Dunyarzad's family? Could it just be another family with the same last name?
Unlikely.
I'd be surprised to find someone with the exact same first and last name. Shahzaman Homayani is Dunyarzad's father, and the head of the Homayani family. Just what the heck is going on here?
Calm down. Let's analyze the situation first.
I'm sorry. You're right. I'll consider what we found and not jump to conclusions just yet.
Yeah.
But what this piece of paper confirms is that the Homayani family has been providing goods to Dakan al-Ahmar.
Maybe they're being threatened.
What if the Homayanis have been kept in the dark and don't know they've been trading with Dakan al-Ahmar?
Yeah, that's possible.
That's a possibility. But if that was the case, why is this caravan specifically named Shahzaman as their person of contact? They could have just as easily bought goods such as food and medicine directly from Caravan Ribat or Port Ormos.
If Shahzaman was actually aware of this, then perhaps he's been supplying the brigade's operations this entire time.
Yeah, funding violence and looting. The brigade gets the goods, and he is paid the proceeds from the sale of the loot.
But why would he do something like this? It's not like the Homayanis are in need of money.
True.
I honestly have no idea. I've been to their estate many times, and I've never noticed anything suspicious.
Huh. Maybe that's actually
The
related.
only potentially large expenditure I could think of would be the treatment cost for Dunyarzad's Elazar. Maybe they borrowed a lot of Mora in the past? But that's still just a speculation. I don't think the Master would stoop so low to make Mora.
I don't think Dunyarzad knows anything about this either.
You're probably right. I know my lady's personality, and she wouldn't deliberately keep something like this from us.
But what should we do now? All we found is just another mystery.
If we want to get to the bottom of this, we won't be able to turn back. That's true.
If you ask me, we already have no choice but to confront her about this. I'm not worried. It's too early to make a verdict yet. I still have faith in the Homayanis.
Me too. Me too. I don't think they're bad people. I think there's something that we don't know.
Let's go find my lady again. We'll tell her everything and see if she's willing to lend us her support.
She will.
If we're lucky, we can not only figure out the mystery of this paper, but also follow the trail of breadcrumbs to the people responsible at Dakan al-Akmar.
Dehya, are you sure this is the best decision? What if instead of getting the help we need, we just end up revealing everything we've discovered to the enemy?
I've considered that possibility. But even still, I want to tell her what we found. I think I owe her that much. True friendship is built on trust.
That's very true.
She showed genuine concern for me when we first brought up the topic. I can't repay her kindness with doubt and suspicion. That's not how I deal with people.
Yeah.
You're right. Paimon wants to trust Dunyarzad too.
I hope we'll be of help to her.
Yeah. Let's pay another visit to Sumeru City.
Let's do it. Alright, let's go speak to Dunyarzad. Going the right direction, right? There she is. Hello, Dunyarzad. Oh, she looks sad.
We're back, my lady.
Yes, we are.
Oh, you're back a lot sooner than I expected. You mustn't have run into any trouble then. Well, how did it go? What did you come up with?
Actually, we're still investigating. It's just that we've discovered something strange.
Oh, the awkwardness, and oh, I feel so bad. It's like, you know, when you have something that's like really weird to say to your friend that like makes them look suspicious, and you still want to be friends with them. It's like that.
I see. The clues you found have led you back here, in the city?
Something like that. Yeah.
You all look a little dispirited. Whatever you found must not have been very encouraging after all.
Oh my god, yeah, I just noticed the traveler's slouching.
Why don't you discuss it with me? Maybe I'll be able to say something to cheer you up?
It's okay, my lady. It's not so much about me being upset with my father or anything like that. How should I put this?
Oh, this is awkward.
So something is wrong. Even the Traveler and Paimon have been uncharacteristically quiet.
Yeah.
On any other day, Paimon would have already waved to me with a smile and shouted, Dunyarzad,
Oh.
we're back!
Oh, this is so sad.
So tell me, what happened?
Well?
My lady, please prepare yourself for what we're going to tell you next. It concerns the Master.
The Master? You mean my father?
Yes.
Okay, I understand. Don't worry about me. I'll listen as attentively as I can.
Really nice of you.
My father has been supplying goods to Dakan al-Akmar?
Oh.
Yeah, it makes as little sense to us as it does to you.
I know.
I've never doubted the Master's integrity, so I'm having a real hard time rationalizing how he could ever support an infamous brigade like them.
I really think he's been strong-armed into it somehow.
Maybe he's not actually aware of the full story and just stumbled into the deal by accident.
That feels unlikely, though.
I can't help but agree with the Traveler.
Huh? You mean you feel the same way, Dunyarzad?
Thank you for sharing all this information with me. Since you've told me everything you know, I should also tell you about some doubts that I've been harboring for quite a while.
She knows something. Like, I always felt like she's been holding back some info because, I mean, she's not that, like, she's not stupid, you know? She notices things. She picks up on things.
In the past, I thought that my father hired a bodyguard for me so That I wouldn't run away and get lost.
Wait, is she about to tell us that, you know, her father hired the bodyguard to keep her from knowing what's going on?
However, there are plenty of capable mercenaries in the Corps of 30. Why did my father go out of his way to hire Dehya?
Oh, shite.
About that. Well, the Homayanis really needed bodyguards, so they reached out to the Blazing Beasts.
The Homyanis. Typos for days.
Later, the master told me that I was one of the best mercenaries he'd ever seen, and that I should stick around to become one of his bodyguards.
Okay.
He offered me a pile of mora, so I just signed on.
Well, but that didn't really answer my question. Just think about it. Why did my father specifically reach out to the Blazing Beasts?
Maybe the Corps of 30 just didn't have anyone available, or maybe someone recommended us. I've never given it too much thought.
Seems targeted.
I think I get what you're saying. You'd think none of this was a coincidence.
Yeah.
Precisely. At first glance, nothing seems strange or out of place. But there are many parts of the story that don't actually make any sense. If my father had always been in contact with the Khan al-Akmar, then it would make sense for him to bring Dehya into our house.
You mean the goal all along was to get Dehya to be your bodyguard?
No, that's too much of a stretch. I cut all ties with my father a long time ago. He has no control over my life anymore.
Really about your father controlling you though, right?
But that still doesn't rule out the possibility that your father has still been trying to influence your life without you knowing.
So, the master was not likely an innocent victim in all of this?
That's what things are looking like at this
Sorry
point.
we put all this on you so suddenly, Dunyarzad.
It's okay, Paimon. I should actually be thanking you. Regardless of his reasons, if my father has truly been funding a violent group of mercenaries, then it's my duty to bring him back to reason.
I still really like Dunyarzad's voice acting.
But is that really the right thing to do?
Morally, yes, but family-wise, it's not.
My father has committed many atrocities and deserves all the punishment that he has coming to him. I have zero sympathy for him. You may call me an ungrateful child, but my feelings will remain the same. However, the Homayani family has treated me with nothing but generosity and kindness. If we decide to investigate this further, we could end up implicating the entire Homayani family. I would be biting the hand that's fed me over all these years.
Oh, that's
Dehya.
so it's so bad to think about.
It's
this.
all right, Dehya. If anyone were to ask, you could always just say that I'm the one who instructed you to get to the bottom of this.
They're protecting each other. That's so sweet.
You don't have to do that, my lady. I'm not conflicted because I'm afraid of taking responsibility. Besides, you're the one we should all be worried about right now.
Yeah, in her position, it's actually really bad for her.
Hey, it's still too early to give up hope. What was that thing about friendship again?
True friendship is built on trust.
Right, yeah, trust! You said that yourself, Dehya. Besides, there's no point on getting all riled up before we've confirmed all the facts.
If your trust hasn't been misplaced, then he probably has many conflicting feelings as well.
Thank you, everyone. That makes a lot of sense. I guess I should always remember the trust that I've placed in people.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you could get misguided or go on the wrong path. That's normal.
In which case, my lady, could you ask the master to come out and have a chat with us?
Yeah.
Sure thing. I also hope he'll be able to give us a logical explanation. Let's meet at the usual place then.
What, at that bench?
Usual place? Ah, right!
The usual place, the bench? I genuinely think it's the bench. Oh, it's the Grand Bazaar. Okay, that makes sense as well. Oh wait, no, that's the bench. The bench. I knew it. The bench. Hello, bench.
Thank you for coming, sir. Please allow me to introduce these two. This is
Oh
the
my
Traveler,
God.
and next to him is his travel companion, Paimon.
Oh my god, I forgot that I changed my name to Epic DMA in all caps. Maybe I'll change it back afterwards, but yeah.
Ah, yes, my daughter has mentioned them from time to time. It's a privilege to finally meet them in person. But we may skip all the pleasantries for now. What is the important matter you wish to discuss with me today?
Well, we wanted to bring this transaction record to your attention. There's something on this record that we're all pretty curious about.
Oh boy.
So, that's what you found? Huh. Seems like I can't keep everything from you much longer.
Fill it out.
If you wouldn't mind, we'd like an explanation.
Well, it's a long and difficult story. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing. What I do know, though, Dehya, is that the truth will bring you no solace. If anything, it will likely cause you a great amount of anguish.
It definitely feels like that. It doesn't feel like the truth is just gonna be like, oh my god, justice, amazing, perfect. It feels like it will be justice in some way, but it will also bring some sort of like truth that's hard and cold to Dehya. That's what I would guess.
Wait, me?
Yes, I understand perfectly why you came to see me. And I am touched by your collective commitment to do the right thing. But knowledge always comes at a price.
That's
And sometimes, as they say, ignorance is bliss. Your father, Kusela, and I both believed that. Of course, you have the right to seek and learn the truth, but I must warn you, the facts of this matter may reduce everything you've built for yourself into sand, blowing in the wind.
Oh no, so maybe her whole life is influenced by her father, but she doesn't know.
If you must proceed, then Kusela's heartfelt efforts will also fade into the wind like a fleeting mirage.
His heartfelt efforts? I'm sorry, sir, but I'm not sure I follow.
I'm not following either. I thought we were supposed to not like her father.
I've made it this far in life without a single drop of my father's support. I have my own ideals and ways of looking at the world, as well as people and causes that I've chosen to cherish and fight for. None of these things have anything to do with him. I came here today to support you as the head of the Homayani family. No warning will change my stance on that.
I understand. Then let me tell you a little story.
He's just casually walking up.
Our family once needed to take a trip to the desert when Dunyarzad was just a baby. Along the way, we were attacked by bandits. They had superior numbers and quickly overpowered our bodyguards. When all seemed lost, a group of passerby Eremites lent us their support. Those Eremites were Kusela's brigade, Dehya al-Ahmar. Kusela's men told me that the attackers were Eremite mercenaries, just like themselves. I was shocked. Why would Dehya al-Ahmar go so far to save us and not spare the fellow Eremites? Kusela was grinning and walked over to play with baby Dunyarzad. She was startled by his unfamiliar face and nearly started crying.
Oh.
Really? I never knew.
He said that he had no particular reason to help us. He just took pity on us because he had a daughter about the same age.
Oh, no.
We started talking
Started to
about our
sound
children,
sad.
and I sensed that he was a devoted father. To repay his kindness, I hired his brigade to help out at our estate for a time and offered everyone generous remuneration.
So, that's what happened.
It was many years before I saw him again. I almost didn't recognize him the next time he came knocking on my door.
Oh, he has grown quite a bit older.
The man I knew to be strong and healthy had been reduced to a shell of himself. He couldn't even walk anymore without his cane.
Oh, that's
So, what happened to him? He was perfectly fine when I left the brigade.
I'm not too sure myself. The only thing that didn't change was his cheery disposition. He said there was absolutely nothing to worry about and that he had gotten into a fight. That was all. He then suddenly asked me if Dunyarzad, now that she had grown, would need a bodyguard of her own.
Oh.
At the time, Dunyarzad was going through a particularly severe bout of her Elazar. There was no need for her to have a bodyguard when she could barely leave the house, but he kept coming back to the topic. Come on, it never hurts to be safe. How do you know a bodyguard won't come in handy one day? I was completely lost at first, until he recommended the Blazing Beasts, and in particular, a mercenary named Dehya.
So he was the one who recommended Dehya to you.
I mean, I'm not that surprised. We already guessed that.
Indeed. He didn't say it out loud, but it was clear that he saw Deshret's relics as an evil group who would eventually corrupt every member in their ranks. He was already beyond redemption, but he hoped that he would be able to detach his daughter from the vicious world of mercenary life. If Dehya could stay in my house and keep working as a bodyguard, then gradually her affinity for the desert would decrease, and she'd be able to leave her previous life behind.
And that's why you offered her such generous compensation?
Yes, but not just because of that. From the moment that he asked me for that favor, I also began to see Dehya as my own daughter.
Oh, that's so cute.
And that's also why I tried to persuade you to stay when you asked for permission to leave. I was willing to spend however much it took. Kusela saved my daughter and I all those years ago in the desert. I could never refuse him entrusting his daughter to me.
He was always like that, acting like he's oh so smart and self-righteous.
He's still going.
Kusela said that he'd reimburse me for a portion of Dehya's fees. I refused to take any mora from him, but he'd always send me funds anyway. Eventually, I just accepted them as a token of his gratitude. And that went on for a while until I received another letter from him a few years ago. The letter contained a request to help him buy food, weapons, medicine, and even explosive materials.
Wait! Isn't that around the time that Dakan al-Akhmar started becoming more aggressive?
That's right. When I started to hear some nasty rumors, I became wary. I wanted to meet him face to face to discuss things.
Yeah, like, it's so sus. Like, the whole thing is just so sus.
But by then, he was no longer receptive to my requests to talk. If I had to guess, it's probably because he doesn't want to put Dehya at risk.
But by that same token, he should have also stopped asking you for materials, true?
That
Oh, no,
thought
this is
occurred
heading in
to
a
me as
bad
well.
direction.
I figured that he probably came to me for help because he had nobody else to turn to. After some deliberation, I decided to send him some food and medicine. I turned down all his requests for explosives and weaponry. I am aware that even such a reduced gesture of support could lead to others coming to harm, but I could not simply reject his plea for help.
That's true. Like, above all things, they're still friends, right?
In the end, it probably was the wrong decision. I plugged my ears to the rumors and just chose a solution that made me feel least guilty about myself.
If you can, please tell me where he is now. None of the things he's doing right now make any sense if he's just trying to keep me from getting tangled up in his world.
Yeah, it doesn't. I think there's another part of the story that maybe even Dunyarzad's father does not know.
If all he wants to do is steer clear of me, then maybe he shouldn't have brought me into this world in the first place.
Oh no. Dehya, please don't feel that way.
I'm just angry because I can't wrap my head around any of his actions.
Maybe there's another way of looking at all this, and can you try to believe in him just one more time?
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think I can do it.
So messed up. The whole thing is just so messed up.
But I guess you do have a point. We haven't uncovered the whole truth yet. We still need to figure out his exact actions and reasoning for these last few years.
yeah.
I'll do my best to help. Of course, anything between the two of you would need to be resolved between you and him alone. I don't
Yeah.
know Kusela's exact whereabouts. Outside of supplying his brigade with some goods, I tried my best to avoid getting involved any further with him.
I'm scared that the father is actually gone, like dead.
However, there's a man on the list named Jawed. He used to be a mercenary in the desert and is now a member of the Corps of 30. He's responsible for supplying weapons and liaising with the Dakan al-Akhmar's merchant caravan. I think he should know Kusela's whereabouts. I've heard that he likes to have a few drinks alone and enjoy the cool wind at night outside the tavern. Maybe you'll be able to find him there.
Understood. Thank you, sir. Then I guess this is bye for now, unless...
Unless?
I'll stay and be with my father here. To be honest, I'm still a little dazed and haven't finished processing everything quite yet.
That makes sense.
My father has indeed done something wrong, but if I think about it, I'm also not sure if there was a right way to handle this problem. I feel like our only course of action is to turn everything we know over to the Core of 30 and let them render judgment.
Yes. I am prepared to accept whatever verdict they choose. It's time to face my mistakes.
That's mature. Alright, we're gonna take a short break because I want to get some food. So, back with the rest of this quest really soon. Yeah. Alright, we are back. We're gonna go look for... I have no idea how to say this name correctly, but for me it's gonna be Jawad. Jawad. Yes, Jawad. Let's go look for Jawad at night. So... Burn tonight, right? Because normally they would tell you, right? Like, for example, between like 21:00 and stuff like that, like 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. But it didn't say that, so I'm a little confused. But regardless, we're gonna do that. Oh, oh wait, it's right here. There he is. There he is.
Huh? Who are you guys?
I know what you've been up to. Smuggling weapons to violent brigades in the desert while working for the Corps? Pretty bold, if you ask me.
Oh, we're going straight to the point.
Shh! Keep your voice down. How do you know all that?
Just do so.
Come with me. We should take this elsewhere. I'll be happy to talk things over once we're somewhere private.
Right, private. I feel like that's kind of sus.
This place should do. Alright, back to my question. How did you all know about me?
Don't worry about that for now. You know what kind of punishment you'll face once we report you to the Corps, I assume.
Wait, there's no need to jump the gun. Let's talk this out. What are your terms?
So what's in it for you anyway, Mora?
Well, I was a little tight on money at the time, and Kusela took good care of me in the past. I weighed it in my mind, and I couldn't find a reason to turn the opportunity down. I wouldn't only be helping my benefactor, but I could also make some quick Mora.
So basically, you just wanted more money.
Let me tell you how it is. We're investigating Dehya al-Akmar, and we're gonna put an end to their operations. If you provide some help for us, then we might just put in a good word later to reduce the terms of your punishment.
Hey, why don't we discuss this a little first? Listen, I made quite a bit of Mora from my last run. You just give me a number, and I'm sure we can...
We're not here for Mora. We're just here to make things right.
Shut it.
Yeah, exactly. Shut it. Oh my god, is this she? Isn't the other one that told Byron to shut it?
My patience is running out. You should know when a mercenary is after something other than money.
All right, sheesh. But you gotta promise you'll put in some nice words for me later.
Sheesh.
They're always on the move. Here's the spot they were at the last time I made my delivery to the desert. Feel free to go have a look. I'm just telling you though, it's not on me if they're not there anymore.
Sure. And then you can forget about any nice words from us.
Oh.
Hey, come on. Now you're just being unreasonable.
Really? And how do I know you're not leading us straight into a trap? Don't forget, you're the one with no bargaining chips.
Exactly, so tell the truth.
All right, I get it. Why don't you go take a look, and if they're not there anymore, I'll try to figure out something else for y'all.
I feel like I don't trust this dude.
Now that's more like it. Let's move. And as for you, try to stick around the city until we get back. You don't want us to call the folks from the Corps and have them drag you back to the city.
Hey, let's go to the location. Anything more to say?
Don't worry. I'm not going anywhere.
Right. Going? Oh wow, that's far. Going over here.
Stay close. No going off on your own. The desert doesn't take prisoners. Seems like we're in luck. That should be their camp right up ahead. Let's go. We'll finally get to the bottom of this ourselves.
Are we about to attack them?
I'm here to see Kusela. Tell him to get out here.
Dehya, why are you here?
Into the fight!
Yeah!
Teamwork is dreamwork!
Haven't you all done enough?
Oh, so are you also here to stop us?
Stay out of this. It's got nothing to do with you.
Everybody stand back! You asked for it! Hey! Buckle up! Hi!
The wind knows me. Clouds high. The birds come!
She's so strong.
Of course.
Enough fighting. We all know each other, and I don't want to take things too far. Just bring Kusela to me. There's no use hiding him anymore.
He's dead.
Did you understand a single word I just said? Or do I need to bash your skull in some more?
All right, everyone, let's all just calm down for a second. Dehya, the boss can't come out and see you anymore. He died a long time ago.
Oh my god, I knew it. It just sounded like, you know, they were alluding to the fact that he's no longer here.
Seems like you've been out of the loop for a while. Guess that's for the best, though. At least, that's what the old man wanted.
When did he die? What happened to him?
Oh.
A few years ago, Kusela broke up Dakan al-Ahmar and went to the Deshret's Relics headquarters by himself.
So is that when you guys started acting up?
We would prefer to call it taking revenge. Every last person in Deshret's Relics must pay in blood for what they did.
So that's why they turned on each other. It was all motivated by revenge.
Let me start from the beginning. Dehya, do you know how the head of the Relics maintained order internally?
Overwhelming strength and unquestionable authority?
Those were a part of it, yes. But just those on their own weren't enough. They had another tool at their disposal. They called it a person's record. Regardless of whether they joined by their own will or were coerced, every person in Deshret's Relics were forced to leave a record of themselves at headquarters. Whether it be their deepest sin, some unforgivable act, or their most immoral exploit, the record served both as a symbol of loyalty and the perfect material for blackmail.
So you mean Kusela thought there was no escaping the record?
That's precisely it. Every one of us have a record. Me, Bashar, Tikriti, and all the boys who grew up with Dehya and ended up joining our ranks. But you, Dehya, you were never asked to provide a record, were you?
I never even knew this was a requirement.
Oh, wait, I think I see where we're going.
You were probably the only person in all of Deshret's Relics who didn't know about it.
Ever since you were born, Boss had been trying to shield you from this organization's sinister rules. Not only that, but he also banned all of us from committing any nefarious acts. He said he'd take care of the dues we had to pay regularly to headquarters. But in the end, he was just an ordinary person. What could he do? He was forced to go to headquarters again and again to account for missed dues and incomplete records. He'd come up with all kinds of excuses and get beaten up as a result.
So that's why when he showed up in the city again, he was already very frail and weak.
We all knew he was doing that for you. He wanted to get you out of this world, no matter what it took.
And that's why he became a shell of himself and couldn't walk without a cane.
Wait, but doesn't make any sense. I didn't know about any of this, and I'd never seen him get injured or beaten.
Well, the thing is, he probably made sure that you didn't.
Because you were too young at the time. How would you ever tell between wounds from a beating and wounds from battle?
That's true.
When you left home after that final argument with him, he seemed to age by a decade overnight. Even his hair went gray.
So, even the blazing beasts were...
Yep. It was all his doing. Had he not arranged them to come to you, you probably would have been reduced to a pulp before you ever left the desert.
Oh, shy.
A few years ago, Boss said he needed to make another trip to headquarters.
I mean,
he was already pretty weak then, and we all assumed he was going to get beaten again. I suggested that he hand the role of leadership over to me, but he said there was no longer any need, since the Khan al-Ahmar would soon be no more. His words made no sense to me. But that night, we heard that a massive fire tore through headquarters and razed everyone's records to ash.
Everyone gained their freedom that night. Many members fled, not just from our ranks, but from the other brigades as well. But how could we leave with a clear conscience? All of us who knew exactly what had happened.
The boss can't have just died for nothing. Those heartless jerks at headquarters took him from us.
From that point on, the sole purpose of the Khan al-Ahmar became revenge.
Okay, so... Well, basically, I mean, violence is never the answer, we know that, but in this case... I'm not going to say it's justified, it just seems like there is an explanation. Whether it's reasonable or not is a different story. But...
The big fire that Boss started was quite a blow to headquarters strength. It's given us the opportunity to launch our attack. Even though we're outnumbered, we vowed to see our revenge through to the very end.
But Deshret's relics haven't been the only victims of your revenge.
There were people from headquarters who changed their names and went into hiding. Some fled to other brigades, and others escaped to the rainforest. But we won't let any of them escape our wrath. They'll all pay for what they've done.
We've suffered plenty of losses as well. To keep going, we need an enormous amount of supplies. From food and medicine to weaponry and explosives. All we can do is exchange our loot from Mora, and then use that to get supplies. We forged Boss's handwriting and sent out many letters to his former friends. Thankfully, many people were willing to come to our aid. We were also able to attract many mercenaries who shared our goal. We've endured unspeakable pain to win many impossible battles.
I mean... I still think this is all very messed up. I still feel like, you know, but at this point, I don't think there is a right or wrong. I think both the headquarters, like the organization itself, and Dehya's father have done their wrongs.
Deshret's relics have become weaker and weaker, and now we finally have an opportunity to directly strike their headquarters.
Paimon doesn't know what to say anymore.
Responding to violence with more violence will only cause more pain. Do you have any idea the amount of damage you...
We do know right from wrong, but we were sinners from the very beginning. We do not deserve the freedom that the boss won for us with his life.
Oh.
Boss always loved his old-fashioned hero stories. Those tales about sacrificing yourself to save the world. We used to always laugh at him for it. But in the end, he really went and lived those stories out himself. As for me, I never considered myself a hero. We're all the lowest of the low. We have no right to even imagine such an existence.
Oh no.
But maybe those hero stories he liked foreshadowed everything that was to come. The spirit of the hero touched all those he had saved, and more people joined his cause.
I mean, that's cool, but that doesn't mean you use this, like, collective to do wrong and to do violence, right?
Maybe we were all just acting along with the play in the beginning. But as we acted the parts and recited the lines, we were drawn in. And now, we want to see the story through to the end. I'm sorry, Dehya. I know you always found us insufferable ever since you were young. Just think of this as a madman ranting.
Oh. I think she'll get part of it, but at the same time, she will still not be okay with like the whole like bigger picture.
I'll go with you.
Huh?
Oh,
Dehya? You wanna go with them?
I grew up with these guys, and I know they're not bad people. It's just that some situations get so bad that it's difficult to tell good from evil.
yeah, definitely. I can't really like do that.
All
right
I know
now.
is that Deshret's relics must be destroyed. Furthermore,
True.
I want to go see the place for myself. I want to know if my father is still there.
I
I know
think
you
he
don't want to
is.
get involved in this, so there's no need for you to tag along. I can do this on my own.
I'm on your side, Dia. No, I made a promise to do yours out to support you. Yeah, I'm coming with you, of
Paimon
course.
feels like we'd only regret it if we don't see this through to the end.
Thank you. We'll be a lot stronger together with you.
Go, okay?
I bet Boss would
Yeah,
lose
we're
his
good.
mind if he ever knew you'd join us at the very last moment like this.
Considering all the losses and injuries we sustained, we can't afford to turn down someone as powerful as you.
He can think whatever he wants. But the fact is, I owe him this much.
Oh, I just feel like I really want to go beat them. Or Deshret's relics, right? Coming from here. Oh. Oh, I thought this was part of the enemy. Like,
Let's get it on! Wind strike!
Nice and spicy.
Teamwork is dreamwork! You're dead meat!
Out of the frying pan.
Buckle up! Ha! Hey! Ha!
Is this the entrance? We sure didn't run into much trouble on the way here.
I don't think we ran into trouble because, well, they're weaker now, so. Let's see, I think this team is fine.
Wow. Paimon didn't expect it to look like this on the
Oh
inside.
wow, that's quite a bit of people. I low-key wish that some of them would actually be in the fight, like with Jet's quest, like they would actually join you.
They
like
should
the
all be
NPCs.
holed up in here. Don't know how many people they've got left, though.
Who cares? We'll round up all of them.
Still, we should be careful. Even if they've only got one shot left, it could still take us out.
I've fought through many situations like this before.
Yeah, we'll know what they're really capable of once we've landed some hits on them. Deshret's relics may have been a force to be reckoned with before, but their name means nothing now.
Yes.
Yeah, they don't stand a chance with you here. I'll take the lead. I've been here once before.
Oh, okay, they actually joined us. That's great. Oh, we get the trial Diego. Actually, I'm curious. Oh, God. Oh, it's noblesse. Oh, he's stuck. Okay.
You are not welcome.
Into the wind.
One
with wind and cloud.
Everybody stand back! Eat this!
New punch. The wind knows me.
Buckle up!
Feeling lucky today? Coward.
I'm going in! You asked for it!
You want this one. Clouds high. The birds call. Into the wind.
Toad! Lola, get them!
You. This way, follow me. We're almost there.
Hey.
Wait! They went charging ahead without checking for any traps!
Oh no.
Hey, you guys okay?
It seems like we just got trapped in here. Don't think we triggered anything else.
This isn't good.
Watch out, the enemy's coming from ahead.
Well, now that things have come to this, seems we'll have to fight our way through.
Don't worry about us. We knew something like this could happen. Go and take a look around. There could still be another way through. Let's go! We can't let the boss down!
Let's check if
Oh
there's
my
another
God.
way! The sooner we can make it through to help them, the better!
Let's
Yeah,
see.
let's go.
I think I see a way through over there, but it's being blocked by something. Let's try our luck with that mechanism.
Okay, let's go!
Really feels like they're just trying to make this storyline as sad as possible. 'Cause I'm feeling really sad now. Is color. Yes, I'm so smart.
Let's get it on!
Let's light it up! Everybody stand back! Nice and spicy!
Hey, normal attack does so much damage.
Buckle up! Another mechanism like the one before, but this one's being blocked off in the middle.
We just need to adjust it a little.
I wonder if there's like a hidden chest somewhere in this, but not yet, so... Okay. Oh, hello.
Let's get it on! Ha!
The wind knows me. As one with wind and cloud.
Teamwork is dreamwork! Lots off!
More of these, really?
Look alive! Hi!
Into the wind. Fallen leaves, adorn my night!
looks like the place in the live stream, like that big platform when they introduced Dehya. That treasure chest is big.
I wasn't
surely.
expecting anyone to make it through from the other side, but as a desert dweller, I suppose we should be used to our folks defying all expectations.
Don't waste your breath. You have nowhere to run.
Run? Had I wanted to run, I would have fled 1,000 times already.
Why they got this man looking like God or something?
I witnessed the golden age of Deshret's relics. Even if I could leave this place behind, all that awaits me now are endless days of humiliation and ruin. Even now, my brothers and I still believe in one thing.
What is that one thing? The one thing is that you're stupid or something?
The greatest should never live to remember their fall.
Wow, how philosophical.
So you want to go out in a blaze of glory.
Let us draw our weapons! We will show them the true power King Deshret bestowed upon his followers.
Which is nothing.
They are but two, while we hold within ourselves the entirety of the relic's glory.
Yeah, it's but like you have numbers doesn't mean that you're better.
Wave 1, charge! Eliminate them!
Wow.
The wind knows me.
You asked for it.
Don't think that you won. You're just getting started.
Buckle up.
Red flags high. The birds come.
I'm going in.
You are King Deshret, will not abandon any one of his followers. Brothers! This is where we prove our fate.
Do you all just want to die?
None of us plan to leave this place alive!
Oh, I'm still punching.
The commander has finally fallen.
Okay.
But they're still coming at us! This place is like a gladiator's ring. They just keep...
Yes, keep fighting!
oops.
There's no need to fear, and no need to back down! This is our last stand!
When the next wave comes, try to draw away their attacks. I'm going to see if I can take out that high platform.
Get out of my
Oh,
way!
it's them.
Come and face me, Mitchell! Ugh, so they've broken through the front as well.
Of course,
Apologies,
they're
Lord
smarter
Michel.
than you.
They fight like absolute madmen! No matter how much we throw at them, they just keep coming for more!
Oh,
So,
no.
it would seem like this is the end.
Time to pay for everything you've done, Mitchell.
You think I would give you that opportunity? I
Gonna
will be
jump off or
buried in the
something?
sand alongside all the rest of our fading glory.
Hey, wait!
I'm very confused.
We were
This
too
is-
late.
It's over. There's no more need to fight. But if you're still going to cling on to your so-called mercenary's pride, then I'll give you all a good beating as well.
Hey, Dehya! I found the mechanism. I'll get you all back up here right away.
Okay, with the chest in the shot.
Let's go.
The elevator. Okay, let's go. This place is really cool.
Who are are you filthy rats? And why are you always pestering us?
You call yourself a member of the infamous Deshret's relics and you still can't even tell who's made it all the way to your headquarters?
Who knows what intent a bunch of rats may have? We try to catch a couple, and you all just show up on the other side instead. How are we supposed to figure out what you're after?
This man is... wow.
Hey, have you ever heard of a man by the name of Kusela? Why would I know? It's not like I'm in charge or anything.
This is your last chance to talk.
Sorry, I was hydrating.
Hey, I said I don't know anything. I'm just an average member here. I'm telling the truth.
Are you?
If you're here to find someone, why don't you look through the records yourselves? Who can remember every name and face with so many people coming in and out every day?
The irony. His life became a light for so many, yet to others, it wasn't even worth remembering. Where's the records room? Answer me!
Whoa, assertive.
It's right over there. All the files are in there. You can go through them as much as you want. It's not like any of them still matter anyway.
I mean the old records room.
The old records room? You mean the one that got burned down? Kusela. Ah, yeah, I remember him now. The guy who could hardly walk.
Yeah, now you remember.
Watch your mouth. That's our boss you're talking about. He was definitely faking it. We all let our guard down as soon as we saw him come hobbling in. But in the short time it supposedly took him to take a dump, he'd already gotten away and started a fire in the records room.
Wow,
He couldn't have possibly outrun us if he wasn't a fraud. And after that, Deshret's relics fell into complete disarray.
Stop wasting our time. Every one of us here is perfectly aware of what he had done. Tell me, where is the old records room?
It's just over there. Go see it for yourself if it means that much to you. There's nothing left in there but ashes. No human could ever survive that kind of inferno. Bashar, Tikriti, let's go. We'll leave the others here to guard these guys. Spare them no mercy if they try anything.
Definitely don't.
So, this was his final destination. How did he do it? Getting past all the guards with a limp and sneaking in here to start a fire?
I don't know.
If he was nimble enough to do that, then he must have been able to get out of here after starting the fire, right?
No, she's trying to... Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I know it's just wishful thinking. Let's look around. Maybe we can find something that's been left behind.
So sad, oh no.
Is this a cane? It must be the one that Dia's father used.
Kusela.
Oh.
Thanks for everything, boss.
We're fortunate to somehow find that cane after that fire.
Let's split up and look around some more. What if something else has been left behind?
But what else could survive a fire like that?
I don't know. Oh. Oh, it's a sword. It's not a... Oh, that's genius.
Thought so.
Wait! Isn't that the toy sword you played with as a child?
The dragon is
so
no more, for Princess Dehya has slain it.
Oh, she's so
Its head now
cute.
hangs above the
Oh my
city gates.
God.
Her bravery has brought eternal peace and prosperity to us all.
This is so
Come on,
sad.
this is the most important line.
You can do it.
Oh.
But Dehya, you defeated the dragon. Everyone's waiting for your speech. Still too shy, huh? All right, I'll do it. I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more.
Oh, this is so sad. Oh, she's gonna say it. She's gonna say it. She's gonna say it.
I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more, Dad.
Oh no, I'm gonna cry. The whole story was shared. Finally joined investigation. They brought to justice. The stuff was given to Dehya, of course, and Dehya was completely silent. Got it. Oh, this is so sad. I can't. I'm just gonna keep saying the same thing, but it's so sad. Oh, we got you some snacks and drinks, all on Paimon's tab.
Don't you remember? You asked Paimon what she would do if she were to wake up tomorrow with loads of money. And Paimon said that she would get boatloads of tasty snacks. You looked super confused at the time, but said it was an adorable thing to say.
Aww.
These opportunities don't come by often. So today, Paimon's gonna treat you to a special crash course on Paimon's life philosophy.
This is like the perfect ending. I mean, although it's a bit corny, it's like, you know, it's very emotional, like part of Dia's life that we didn't know about, and now it's like, you know, this wholesome moment to round it up. She rarely spends her allowance on other people. It's really my treat, but you get the point.
Hey,
yeah.
This way you get something from the both of us for the price of one.
Yeah, totally. Amazing.
Anyway, the point is that you should eat to your heart's content. You'll feel better for sure once you've gotten something in your tummy. Junior Zad will also be here shortly. She's already heard that we're back.
Aw,
let's go.
Thanks, you two. Honestly, this is very unlike me.
Yeah,
I just had a lot on my mind on our way back, so I didn't know what to say.
I mean, that's really reasonable. Like, if I had learned something so dark about my family past, it's a lot to get through.
My chest was filled with all kinds of intense emotions. They just shook me even more than all the feelings we've shared during our previous adventures.
I mean, yeah, I mean, those feelings were already intense, so I can imagine what this might feel like.
But when everything came to an end, those emotions also vanished without a trace, and I was left feeling more empty than ever before.
Yeah, I get that.
It was as if I'd lost the thing that was most important to me.
Everything just happened so fast. Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, you're right. To many mercenaries, Mora is the most important thing in the world. But perhaps to us, it's the most worthless thing of all.
Yeah, to be honest, I
Idrisi
agree.
and the others all used to say that they would quit if there was no Mora to be had. But when it came to avenging my father, there was no Mora to be made anywhere.
Yep.
My reality shattered when I found out that the father who always told me hero stories was in fact a bad guy. But look at me now. Am I any different?
You're different.
Despite all my promises about never forgiving him and never trying to understand him, I still went to such lengths to find out the truth, and nearly even shed tears for his sake.
It's kind of like how on the surface you may say something, but you don't really feel that way, and it's normal to be like out of touch with what you're really thinking, so...
We're hypocrites. All of us.
You should never question your true feelings, so yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It's just a pity that we often only recognize our true feelings after it's already too late.
That's something I don't like.
You're back! Are all of you
hi.
alright?
There she is.
Yeah. Many people from the Corps of 30 came over, and I just wrapped up everything with my dad. All I can do now is wait for their verdict. Huh? Dehya, you're looking quite down again.
Oh.
Paimon will explain. A lot happened while we were gone.
Once Paimon finishes the story, Junior starts to cry.
I'm sorry. I really should have controlled my emotions better. I just...
I was so close to crying as well. So
It's all right, my
fine.
lady. You were hurt by all of this as well. Truth be told, I'm starting to feel a little guilty watching you cry like this.
Dehya, your pain must be even worse. You shouldn't need to comfort me.
Her voice acting, I'm gonna keep saying this, but wow, it's really good.
Hey, don't worry about me. If anything, this whole thing has finally shown me the difference between illusion and reality.
True?
My father probably thought that people could settle into new lives as long as they moved to a new environment.
That's
That
not
thought has even
true.
crossed my mind a few times. It's like saying, what's wrong with adapting to a new life?
Yeah, I don't...
However, there was always something deep within my mind that refused to accept it. This impulse brought me great turmoil, and even made me feel ashamed for turning my back on your father's kindness. But now that I consider it again, it all makes sense. The desert sands are a part of who I am, and I will never be able to lead a peaceful existence.
I think the first part is definitely true. Like, desert is where she's from, and that's something that you can't really change. You can move to new places, but like, you can't really change that part of you in the past, and it's pretty set in stone. But the second part, I don't agree with. I think that there's still things you can do to make sure that you have a peaceful existence if that's what you're after.
I understand how you feel.
That doesn't mean I won't be making any changes to my life, though. As an example, I'm now thinking about taking on some small odd jobs. It's just like Idrisi said. I also want to catch up to my father and become a character in his play.
Oh.
Even if the ending of the story may be childish and ridiculous, it won't really matter.
True.
Isn't that neat, though? Oh, you'll be a whole new kind of mercenary, one that's not out for Mora.
I mean, she was kind of like that partially already, but I get it.
Why don't we go for a change of scenery once we finish eating? What about stopping by the Grand Bazaar again?
That can work, yeah.
Right. You said you wanted to get a rug for your family.
We'll come along too.
Oh, it's always more fun when everyone's together, yeah.
I can't thank you enough for taking care of me this entire time.
Of course. We're friends. That's what friends are for. Alright, let's go to the Grand Bazaar to clear our head. I feel like there has to be something there, and that's why we're going there, but I don't know why. Like... maybe there's a play we can watch, right? Like an ending cutscene? Okay.
Oh, this rug here is quite something. The craftsmanship is exquisite, and the fabric is also of high quality.
Ah, here you are. Finally, I found you.
There's something wrong with his tongue?
Hey! Aren't you that mercenary who bit his tongue? You can still talk? Wait, are you here to take revenge on us?
No, he's not.
What are you talking about? Do I look like I could take you all in a fight? I just came here to give
His
you
voice, though.
I'll be on my way to give myself up to the Corps after this. Once I woke up, I hurried to the Khan al-Ahmar's camp, hoping to alert them to your presence. But when I got there, I found no one except the members who were still too injured to move.
Ah,
Yep, that
so
was
you
kind
probably
of,
got there after us.
Yeah, they told me that they had exacted their revenge, and everyone had turned themselves in to the authorities. Even that last camp was not going to last for much longer. I had joined the cause to repay an old favor from Kusela. Now that everyone's already turned themselves in, I might as well do the same. One of the injured members gave this box to me, and told me that it contained some of the old man's last possessions.
Oh.
Everything left in the camp will get confiscated, so I figured I should get this to you before the Corps could get their hands on it.
That's nice of you. That's honestly
Thank
nice
you.
of
No worries. We are all just living our own truths. There's no need to comment or judge anyone for it.
True, but I feel like that was a little bit of a shade from him. It's okay.
So this box contains everything that Dia's father left behind. Huh. It feels lighter than expected.
Well, back in the day, the first thing he did with any Mora was spend it on things like drinks and meat.
Yeah, sounds like him.
But let's see what's inside. What's this? It's just a bunch of junk. Ugh, it kinda stinks.
Perhaps it's just been left unopened for too long.
A handwritten copy of a storybook. The paper's already yellowed, and it looks like it's about to fall apart.
It's definitely the play that they used to, you know, just like play around with when Dia was living.
It was against the Academia's rules to possess books for personal use. If he was going to break that rule, he could have at least copied something useful.
It's probably not
That
a copy.
probably means this was really important to him.
And here are a few bags of children's snacks. The packaging's completely deteriorated. Maybe that's where the smell was coming from.
Did he get those for you?
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Even when I was a child, I was never a fan of these kinds of snacks. He'd always say that he got them for me, but in the end, he always ate more than I ever did. Who even leaves
that's actually
snacks
kind
in
of
a
funny.
box like this anyway? Isn't that just common sense? Forget it. Let me see what else is in here. A razor, some buttons, some round iron tiles, a wooden toy puppet, a wool scarf, which from the looks of it probably belonged to a woman, and a hair clip?
Her mother.
Why are these
It's her
things
mother's
here?
things.
I'm suddenly feeling a little scared.
I'm sorry, my lady, but this is just the kind of man he was. He probably saw this box as some kind of personal trash heap and dumped any and everything in there. 2 empty liquor bottles. Tell me, you guys, are these the kinds of things that a normal person would leave behind?
Probably not. What an interesting man.
Huh? There's something in the bottle!
Oh, you're right.
Oh.
All right, I got it out. It seems to be a piece of paper with some writing on it. The bottom part's all damaged from moisture, though. Let's hope the writing didn't smudge. I was suddenly seized with an urge to write a letter after finishing this bottle. I just folded it up and left it in the bottle, though. If I end up forgetting about it, it won't really matter. To
Okay.
Dehya. It's a letter for me?
Don't need to read it out loud.
It's all right. I'll just read it out. If he went to the trouble of writing a letter, there must have been some important things that he wanted to say. Or at least record down.
My condition's becoming worse and worse. Can't even walk without a cane anymore, much less go out and have fun. Guess I don't have many days left. If you're
Aw.
reading this letter, then I suppose I'm already long gone. You were adorable as a baby. Everyone loved you. And regardless of whether you were crying or laughing, everyone enjoyed having you in the group. But
Aw.
once you grew a bit older, you were no longer nearly as happy or cute. It's probably Idrisi's fault. He was never up to any good.
Can you believe this guy? He can point the finger at himself.
Oh, no. She is liking this.
Anyway,
okay?
back to the point. To summarize, I'm writing this so you would know not to feel sad for me, even if you end up finding out the truth. The reason being that I was never your father to begin with.
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
Yep, Paimon, yep. Thank you.
Surely, he must be joking, right?
I don't know.
I was quite formidable when I was young, and 100 times cooler than some so-called flame main.
Oh, that roast.
Really felt like the whole world was under my feet. With just a teeny tiny bit of effort, I felt I could rule over the entire desert. But as
Amazing.
fate would have it, I went out into the desert for a drink one day and discovered a baby
I love
in the
how we keep
sands.
cutting to these two.
It was you. You were just
Oh.
lying there, small and helpless. You were so tiny that if the wind blew for just a little while longer, you would have been buried forever.
Wait, so maybe she's just like adopted in a way? Like her mother maybe abandoned her?
But your cries were so loud they made my head hurt. Now that I think of it, you really were a bundle of energy.
Sounds like he's serious.
I told Idrisi and the others that I had slipped up with a woman while out and about. None of them even doubted me. I'm sorry that I had to lie to them for so long, but I really had no other choice. I was their most esteemed leader, after all. It's not like I could just tell them that I suddenly wanted to play at being a father. At this rate, I'll puke up all the liquor I just drank from this bottle.
Puke. Dude, this is like even sadder because she's adopted and because he had to lie for her sake.
Anyway, Dehya, you possess the kind of freedom and kindness that we could only dream of. As far as how you should live your life, that'll be up to you to decide.
Oh, I love that, like, you know, there's like the talk of freedom. I
That's
literally just got chills.
The end of the letter. In the end, he was still thinking of me as a little child.
Isn't that also a good thing? Oh, her voice is a
I
little bit cracking
suppose.
up.
Or I would have suffocated under the sand a long time ago.
He was a good father to you. The fact that he wasn't a blood relative doesn't change that.
Yeah. It's just a pity that we had to learn the truth of everything like this.
Yeah, but I don't see it playing out another way given the circumstances.
Do you already have some ideas about the decision that he wanted you to make?
I do. If he first found me alone in the sands, then I want to try my hand at finding the person who abandoned me. I just have one wish. To tell them a story. That there once existed a childish and foolish jerk with a heart of gold. And that only under his care was I able to grow and mature into the person I am today.
This is amazing though, like the way she's looking at all this.
If you end up finding any leads, can you share them with us? We go on adventures all the time. Maybe we'll be able to find some information for you.
I feel like that would be just like the part 2 of her quest, you know?
Sure, I appreciate it. I wasn't expecting you to be so enthusiastic.
I also don't want to see his efforts go to waste, and I don't want you to stop going forward.
I'll help too.
Thank you. All of you. Thank you so much.
Of course.
My life has certainly had its twists and turns, but I've always considered myself lucky. Because no matter where I've gone, I've always been surrounded by incredible kindness.
That's great. That's amazing. Oh my god. There we are. We're done with the quest. So I think it's a great quest. I think this was better than I expected, since Hoyoverse didn't really treat Dehya really well as a character, but I genuinely enjoyed that. I think the story was like written out pretty well, and there were a lot of nice cutscenes, and like there were a lot of nice like details in the story, and the way that they ended it was also very wholesome and at the same time emotional because of the story with her father. But yeah, overall I enjoyed this, and I look forward to a possible like act 2, because it seemed like they were like, you know, alluding to that. So yeah, I guess that's it for today. Thank you all for watching. Like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.